24 years ago, a maniac decided to do a series of unjustifiable wars from the United States. And of course, everybody forgets that and wants to blame everything on Obama or Trump, whomever you hate more. The reality is we've been building up to this point for a long time. The United States was spending a lot of money on the State Department. Clinton was like, why? The hegemonic superpower, we don't need to do this. There's no Soviet Union to run to. So he began to take money away from the State Department and he began spending it on defense, which is offense, because right, when was the last time the United States defended itself? Trump comes in because Trump doesn't know anything. His first administration, the Republic of China calls. He picked up the phone. And then the president on the other side, the Taiwanese president on the other side goes, congratulations on your victory. And Trump's like, oh, thank you. It was the greatest victory in human history. We blew out the other side. And he's talking to him for 30 minutes, telling him what an incredible, amazing man he is. And the whole time, the president on the other side is freaked out because we don't answer the phone for Taiwan. Like, I don't see a path for the United States to be the guy who stabilizes the world. If there's no superpower stabilizing, there's nothing to stop Israel from just genociding the Gaza Strip and randomly attacking Iran. We have the potential for the Middle East to turn into a serious conflagration that might trigger World War III for all we know. To be fair to George Bush Jr., Clinton had a role in this. So he starts spending it on offense by pumping money into the military. That continued all the way through the Obama administration to the point where the United States military, the Army, at one point begged Congress to stop buying it tanks because it's like, we have so many tanks that we will never use. We have them in storage and it costs us money to keep them stored. Please stop. When was the last time a military ever said we have too many supplies? Like, we are in a strange place when that's a conversation. And so there was this emphasis on war that came out of Democratic and Republican administrations since the 1990s. The United States has historically played a bad role and a good role, right? What we did in Vietnam and Iraq and Afghanistan, horrific. I'm against all of it. Wrong. But at the same time, we did things like secure the UAE's sovereignty. We secured Germany's sovereignty. We secured Japan's sovereignty. We secured South Korea's sovereignty. Like, there was also a stabilizing factor that we played, a role that we played, but it's gone. How do you make sense of this? There's a part of me that wants to go back and count how many conflicts the world had, say, 40 years ago and then compare it to today. I think one of the things we forget is the world was filled with conflicts 40 years ago. And one of the reasons I think we forget that is during the 90s, there was a little bit of a sense of stability. With the collapse of the Soviet Union, there was kind of this, United States has become the single hegemonic superpower. And there's like a Pax Americana kind of kicked in. But then George Bush derails all of that, right, by doing the war against Iraq, even the war against Afghanistan. You know, both were clearly crimes against humanity, war crimes. He even admits it in a speech. And you're like, thanks, George. Thanks for doing that. I wish he could have just been a painter. Couldn't he have just been a painter? Anyway, this is my advice. If you're a struggling artist, could you just keep being a struggling artist and don't get into politics? I just feel like, like if your compulsion is to paint, please just paint. Stay away from politics. So George Bush derailed that and wrecked the United States' global reputation and created a lot of chaos. Because at that point then, there were lots of other states going, oh, the old system is out and the United States is doing empire. And it's one of the reasons why Putin did feel the need to do empire. He thought it was the only way to counter the United States' empire. He felt like, okay, if we don't reassert the Russian Empire, the Soviet Union, and kind of carefully reestablish ourselves, we'll have enemies on our front doors. The United States will be in Uzbekistan. The United States will be deployed in Ukraine, and will be attacked eventually. And just the way Trump reacted to Israel attacking Iran, we have nothing to do with this. Oh no, it was my idea. I planned the whole thing. Okay, I'm going to consider attacking Iran. I'll get back to you in 1 week. 2 days later, we're bombing Iran, and everybody's like, I don't know what this means. Like, what is this? And people are saying he's playing eight dimensional chess, he's playing 1/8 dimensional chess. Like that's nothing. That was just incoherent gibberish. It looked like he got jealous that Israel was getting a victory, and he wasn't. And he wanted to participate in it. And then he comes out and he says, that's it. It's the end of Iran's nuclear weapons program. And the IAEA and then all the analysts who are looking at it are like, maybe we postponed it for 2-3 months. We definitely didn't end Iran's nuclear weapons program. But the really scary part is the uranium that they had to, what was it, 60%, that uranium disappeared because the Iranians ran it off. So now we don't know where that is. If I was the Islamic Republic of Iran, I would be doing everything I could to get it to North Korea because they can turn it into a nuke. I don't even need a weapons program, and then just buy nukes already made from North Korea. Who's going to stop them? The U.S. isn't paying attention because the U.S. has no coherent foreign policy anymore, and Russia certainly could use having a stabilized Iran as an ally that doesn't have to worry about being bombed. And what's the best way to not be bombed? Have nuclear weapons. Everybody will leave you alone. Ask Kim Jong-un. And Kim Jong-un, he'd love to give Iran nukes. So for all we know, they're doing it right now as I'm speaking. And so what Trump did was he took a situation that was bad. I don't want Iran to get nukes. That's not a good outcome. I don't blame the Islamic Republic for wanting nukes, but I don't like that government, so I really don't want them to succeed. And they'll just turn Iran into another North Korea, right? They'll have nobody to be afraid of, so there's no reason for them to do anything in terms of human rights for their own people. But so we took this bad situation where Iran was on this path. Trump derailed it by getting rid of the JCPOA, and then now he's made it even worse because we've lost track of the stupid uranium that they had enriched to I think it was 60% enrichment. You know, they're still a ways away from the nuke, but not that far, and they don't need it anymore. If you don't know where the uranium is. Anyway, so I guess the answer I'm giving you is right now I'm really pessimistic about the global future. The fact that people keep saying civil war in the United States, the fact that people keep saying World War III globally, the fact that, you know, we just saw this Thailand-Cambodia violence, the Iran thing, it looks to me like we're on a path of escalating violence and escalating instability, but intentional destabilizing in the process. Also, what happens with global economies? Like Lebanon's economy is in ruins. It's maybe coming back a little bit, but it's not good. Where is Egypt going? It just recently went through a catastrophic inflation event. You know, there's no global plan for how we make a coherent economic system.